Pleasure.
So can we agree that the United States and Pakistan have a common interest in rooting out the presence of al-Qaeda that is hiding within Pakistan?
Absolutely. I think both countries have a common interest there.
So then the question inevitably arises, how do we accomplish that objective? Clearly, at this moment, the relationship between Pakistan and the United States is spiraling down over the issue of the use of drones. What would your strategy be to root out the presence of al-Qaeda within Pakistan?
Well, what I would do is isolate al-Qaeda. And I would isolate al-Qaeda by winning over the tribal people over to my side. Now, you must understand that there are 1 million armed men in the tribal areas of Pakistan. It is the most unique area in the world where every man is armed and can use weapons. And it has a history of resisting whether it was British or Russians or Mughals before that. So what is happening right now is that this current strategy is pushing these people towards al-Qaeda. Whereas what it should have done is isolate al-Qaeda, because the current strategy is never going to succeed.
Mr. Khan, what you're saying is eminently sensible, but it just begs the follow-up question, how do you isolate al-Qaeda? We have tried, we being the United States, have spent a great deal in terms of foreign aid, in terms of cultural, in terms of agricultural assistance. How would you say you can effectively and successfully isolate al-Qaeda rather than pursuing merely the drone attacks that you are so much against?
Well, let me just say one thing. The initial mistake was made when Taliban and al-Qaeda were clubbed together. Now, Taliban were fundamentalists, but they were not terrorists. And the Taliban never had the capability of hitting Western targets because they just don't have the education, they don't understand the Western societies to actually operate there. I think that was the first mistake. But second mistake was that they should have just then, once the Taliban were dislodged, there should have been development work done, good governance given. People should have had a stake in the new regime. Instead, the eye was lifted off the ball, and all concentration went to Iraq, and all the forces went over to Iraq. So it is a series of I would say, disasters that led to the current situation where it has really got where I can say that the solutions are not simple anymore.
So you're basically recommending a strategy of negotiation with the Taliban and a complete elimination of the drones, if I hear you properly.
It is the only way. Believe me, it is the only way. Are the drone attacks really succeeding in making us win this war on terror? The answer is no.
But the CIA would say that the efforts to use drones has been successful in eliminating the leadership of al-Qaeda in Pakistan, and to a great extent, that's why al-Qaeda has become a much less significant force with respect to terrorism at a global level. So how do you respond to that argument that, in fact, this has been quite successful?
But if it's successful, then they should stop it now. I mean, look, I'm sitting in Pakistan. I'm telling you the impact drone attacks are having in this country. And I'm telling you that the more drone attacks, the more anti-Americanism. The more anti-Americanism, the more radicalization. The more radicalization, there is only one beneficiary, and that's al-Qaeda.